Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Connor. So tonight I have a lot I want to cover, especially for 144 light workers, all star seeds. Right now the veil has been completely lifted, so what we're really going to start seeing within our world is a lot more people are going to start their awakening process. So as light workers, we're really going to need to step up to the plate and really own our sovereign leadership positions and be confident with that and really trust in our abilities and in our dharma and our purpose, and realize that this is why we were born, for this moment on this planet, on this timeline. It's a very exciting time to be alive. With Astro World, that event happening, that is just a prime example of how far the dark forces are willing to go, and they know that right now there's not much more that they can hide, especially with more and more of the masses waking up and being able to see through that veil into the 3D, or into the fourth and fifth density realms. So us as light workers really have to focus on keeping ourselves grounded, right? Really focusing on our three pillars of our purpose, which is our sovereignty, owning our power, our personal power, setting that true intention and example, right? We can't be true healers and light workers if we're not leading by example, right? And living that out in our daily lives. And really anchoring our frequency, making sure that we're not allowing anything to distract us from that, and making sure that that's our priority, is to really stay anchored within that vibration and focus on all things positive, making sure that we're really transmuting energy as needed, right? So tonight I also wanted to talk about the advantage method. So our subconscious mind is in control of all of our reactions. And throughout the course of our lives, our subconscious mind is programmed. So when we become adults, we realize that we have these toxic, unhealthy patterns and programs and recordings that are embedded and marinated into our being and into our subconscious mind. And that's why we have such a difficult time with triggers and addictions and stuff along those lines, because our subconscious mind has been so toxically programmed. And our reactions is the hardest part about all of that, and really navigating our inner world and getting a hold of those reactions and tweaking our perspective on our outlook at the world, right? Making sure that we aren't falling into the victimhood mentality, and making sure that we are viewing our world as an opportunity to grow and learn and explore, and trusting in the divine order that's at play here. So there's the 5 advantage method affirmations that we talked about already, but I wanted to just kind of go over this because as light workers and star seeds, from this point on, we have to implement these and reprogram our subconscious mind and really wire these into our brains as star seeds and light workers. The first one is, everything is working to my advantage. There's nothing that's going to come in your path that's not meant to. And we really have to understand that and trust that, and surrender to the plan at play here. Number 2, something wonderful is happening for me now. Really understanding that having a good outlook on the things and the experiences, and even the more, because negative experiences in life are inevitable, right? So taking those with grace, and regardless of what they are, is so important, because that's where we take our power back, and that's where we put ourselves in control of anything and all of the experiences that come along our path, right? So number 3, my world is taking care of me. We can no longer expect anything in our exterior world to fill any kind of voids, to make us happy, to bring us any kind of true, genuine fulfillment. We no longer do that anymore. We now are, we've gone inward. We've broke down everything that we're not. We're peeling back those layers and doing our unbecoming process. So that is now our world. We're no longer looking at the physical world as our fulfillment and our happiness. Yes, that will fall into place as we rebuild and rediscover our inner world, because that is where our true, authentic essence lies. Okay, we really need to work on. This is for those of you that feel as though you're not in complete alignment yet. Remember to be patient with yourself, and that's going to come. And it took a long time to get to where you are. So to be persistent with your shadow work and your meditation and stuff like that, that's going to get you back into alignment. Number 4, everything is going according to plan. Like I said, we all know as light workers and star seeds that there is a divine order at play here. There's a plan, and we must surrender to that, trust it, and know that we are a part of that plan. That's why we descended from the 9th dimension. That's why we were called upon, and we stepped up to the plate pretty much and said, we're gonna go. This is what my soul needs. We chose our parents, we chose our life path, we chose all of that because we wanted that soul growth. Okay. Number 5, things are working out perfectly and will continue to do so with ease. We are in control of our inner world, that of which is our outer world is a reflection of that. So when we can really rewire all of this and we can step into our sovereignty, come back into alignment, and own our essence and our authenticity and our real true self, and express that to the world and feel confident about that, because that's what we came here for, is to really rediscover who we are and to remember and to wake up again. And when we do that, that's when things are just we're going to be in the ebb and the flow. Everything is just going to be at ease regardless of the situation, whether it's positive or negative, because as we all know, that's the duality and the polarity of life. And without the darkness, there is no light. And we need that darkness to be that propelling factor behind our transmuting of our energy, right? So those are the 5 Advantage Method affirmations. And we really, really need to focus and make sure that we're being mindful with implementing these into our mindsets and into our daily way of thinking and reprogramming our reactions and how we're perceiving our outer world. Okay. Just switching gears here, I really want to also touch on why we're waking up between 3 and 5 and the significance of that. Okay, that's obviously the witching hour. That's when you are the calmest, the quietest, and everyone's sleeping. And the reason that this is the universe is trying to communicate with you. So we really need to make sure that instead of going back to sleep at between 3 and 5, that we are taking advantage. Make sure that we're taking advantage of that time between 3 and 5, where those channelings and those ideas and those messages are knocking at your door, making sure that you're answering that call, because that's when all of those messages are going to clearly come through to you and you can bring those to life. So make sure you have your journal next to your bed and you're writing them down immediately. Just like dreams, we forget them if we don't write them down, right? So we want to make sure that we're being mindful and responsible with that as well. So I also wanted to touch on Defiant self-care and Defiant self-love. So we can't have one without the other. We have to, when it comes to Defiant self-care, we have to care about our emotional state, our mentality, our physical vessel, and we have to care about just our being in general before we can truly fall in love with ourselves all over again, okay? So making sure that we are taking responsibility and making those changes with our shadow work, any kind of habits and stuff that really need to fall away. Hopefully we're not holding on to any of those any longer and we're far enough in our journey. But if you aren't, that's everyone goes at their own pace, right? So if you still find yourself attached to certain habits, ways of thinking, stuff like that, really stepping up to the plate for yourself and showing up for yourself every single day and doing what you can to really let that stuff that does not serve you any longer fall away. That's going to help propel you forward in your awakening or your ascension process, wherever it is that you are at in your journey. So also, when it comes to our Defiant self-care and our Defiant self-love, that is really going to help us redefine who we are and clean up our tarnished self-image that has just been stepped on and destroyed almost pretty much from our childhood, from these toxic relationships that we have been wrapped up in the past. That stuff takes a toll and it doesn't just go away overnight. So that's going to take time for us to really reinvent the way that we look at ourselves and view ourselves. And we know that we can't rise above the image that we have for ourselves. So we need to make sure that we are really doing our self-care and nurturing ourselves back to health and reparenting ourselves and implementing all of these things that are going to help us grow and learn and step into our sovereign leadership roles as light workers and star seeds. You are needed right now. From here on out and into 2022 and 2023, you are going to see huge, drastic shifts and changes on all aspects and all levels. So more and more, you're going to start to see the spiritual world come to life, and more people are going to start waking up. And you, as a light worker and a starseed, you're a part of the 3 waves of volunteers. So people are going to start coming to you and looking for guidance and assistance and your wisdom and knowledge. So be ready for that, because that's another important asset to being a light worker and to your purpose and why you're here. And you're going to just end up attracting people. They're going to sense your vibe and your aura, and the energy doesn't lie, and they're going to pick up on that. So they're going to know and feel comfortable coming to you with this stuff, because to them it's taboo, it's unknown, they're going down this path of, it could be scary and uncertain. So they're looking for that comfort, and you can give that to them. So make sure that we are really believing in ourselves and in our abilities to deliver that to humanity. That's exactly why we came here, and now it's showtime. It's an exciting time. So I don't think I have too much else to touch on. I hope that you guys are feeling wonderful. I know right now, with the veil being as thin as it is and everyone's able to see through, more people are waking up. The dark forces they feel like they're suffocating and they can't get through to us, but that doesn't stop them from trying, right? So I hope that everyone is able to really stay strong in their power and not allow that to affect us and in our purpose. And I know that as light workers, we are unstoppable. There's nothing anyone or anything can do to get in our way of us fulfilling our dharma and our purpose. And we're all in this together. We need to make sure that we're leaning on one another as well for support, guidance, anything along those lines. So as always, I continue to have the honor and privilege to be here to assist you throughout this beautiful process. And I hope you all have a fantastic night. And if you could please click the subscribe button. I'm here for you. I want to share my wisdom and my knowledge with the world and fulfill my dharma and my duty to do so. And if you could click the like button, I would really appreciate that as well. And I hope that you all have a fantastic night, and I will see you in my next video.